I think the drones really change journalism in some respects. It gives you a huge opportunity for telling stories from a literal overview. So you've got this idea of changing perspective and shifting perspective and showing a region. When we first started thinking about using flying cameras, we made a very short film just explaining what we were going to do. And so we filmed inside New Broadcasting House before it was finished, so whilst building work was still going on. We filmed it with a very small flying camera going up through the atrium in New Broadcasting House, and I think it really shows the building off in a really sort of spectacular way. So you wouldn't use one for a whole package, it would be an insert into a package, but they can really give you a really spectacular few shots within a package to really tell a story visually.
It would be Britain's most expensive building project, a super-fast train line cutting through hundreds of miles of the country.
The first pieces that we shot was for the high-speed 2 rail link, so that was where the transport correspondent, Richard Westcott, would do a piece to camera at sort of eye height, and then the copter would fly up to show the whole overview of the farmland that was being proposed as part of the route.
Flooring his 150-year-old oak tree, wiping out his farm.
They're not a replacement for a news helicopter. They can fly for about 10 minutes at a time, but they have amazing control, so you can literally go from a kind of human level right up to a bird's eye view, and it's that transition between looking at something from a human scale to a bird's eye view that can really open up storytelling.
English Heritage say the news centre's aimed at giving people a much better experience before they get here to the stones themselves.
Another piece was the reopening of the Stonehenge Visitor Centre, and so we were the first people to fly a drone from the centre of Stonehenge looking up. There's a spectacular shot in the centre of it where the drone is just rising up from the middle of Stonehenge and rotating slowly as it rises. We're using them a lot abroad as well. So for Brazil Soccer Cities, which is a series that's just been completed, they were filming around the stadiums of Brazil and also looking at the life in the different cities in Brazil. And there are some really spectacular shots from the rainforests, across rivers and the stadiums themselves. If you're a journalist planning a package, there are lots of restrictions about where you can fly these. So for example, you can't fly them over power stations. There are specific locations that you can and can't fly. But in general, if you're thinking about flying in a wide open space, if you're dealing with environmental stories, transport stories, agricultural stories, those are all places where it's fairly easy to fly these things. So those would be the first places I would pinpoint. I think it will massively enhance our journalism because these are techniques that previously could only be used by very high-end documentaries or Hollywood films, and suddenly the BBC has the facility to do this at fairly low cost. So you'll be able to get these spectacular overviews that previously you wouldn't have been able to afford to get.